fun of some Trump supporters. I am also live on YouTube. Lord. Keep tapping the screen and sharing a live. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Almost 200 people. We got to get, I don't know, at least 10,000 likes up there. We got a bunch of snow here in southern Indiana last night, and it looks kind of icy as well. Yeah. And Roger says he's found all the corruption. Come on up here, Ann. Come on up here and tell me about the corruption. Let's have a conversation. Tell me about the corruption. Come on up here. Ben, come on up here and tell me how he saved the millions. They haven't even done shit yet. Not shit. Yeah, he closed the H. He gave me anxiety. Yeah, tell me about it. AJ Gallagher. What's going on? Keep tapping the screen and sharing the live. All right. Gift go right now is 20 tiny dinies. I'm going to pin that gift go here. Let's see. 20 tiny dinies. That's going to help keep us in the FYP. There it is. It's pinned. Also, you can do the join me for one coin right here. And then the share button's down here at the bottom. Share, copy, share, copy, share, copy. Also, I have a $25 gift goal today, Cash App and Venmo. I have a t-shirt line coming out here in the next week or so, and the money that you guys are sending my way is going to help me get launch the storefront and order some shirts so that we can do some giveaways. So that's where we're at. Trump supporters, come on and request up. Come on and request up and defend your man. Michael says grifters. Trump gets the immigrants gone. Brittany, come on up here. Why aren't you all requesting up to have these conversations? Why do you guys just want to just oh, great job, Jake. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep the taps coming. We got 600 people in there. I know there's got to be some Trump supporters willing to come up here and have a conversation. Let's see what Michael has to say. This should be interesting. And he went offline. Let me block. Please block me. If you don't like me, please block me. You're doing me a favor. I have, they have no credit. I don't know, man. Chat's flying. Keep going. Keep tapping the screen and sharing the live. Jack Smith says they made happy. You guys need to come up here and explain to me what he's done for you in the chat. We are so curious. Tim Chamberlain says he is doing a great job. Tim Chamberlain, come up here and let's have a conversation of what kind of a great job he is doing. Ew, cost you your job? That's not good. Tim Chamberlain, you're a Trump supporter, correct?
Correct.
What state did you vote out of?
Well, I voted in a state that really doesn't matter. Washington, D.C.
All right. So
I am
number one,
Washington, D.C.
number one reason why you voted for Donald Trump. And the second part is over the past few weeks, something positive that he's done that's directly affected you with a positive outcome.
All right. The reason I voted for Trump, um, number of reasons. I just say one. From what I've seen from the majority of our media, um, me being black, you know, most black people were against him, so that was suspicious to me.
You being
That was
black,
very suspicious.
you definitely voted the wrong way as a black man.
I get it. I understand that. Now, so I'm answering your question. Um, so yeah, so basically, I didn't like how he was being treated. It went overboard.
You didn't like how who
Um,
was you didn't like how who was being
even
treated.
set,
You didn't like how who was being treated.
Miss President Donald Trump. He had the,
Okay,
Donald Trump
be
didn't like the
be
way he was
more
being treated.
be more specific.
Second reason why I voted for him.
Be more specific. What do you mean how he was being
Um,
treated?
the, so the 24/7 hour news cycle, mainstream news cycle
Maybe if he
for
wasn't
almost
doing outlandish
10
shit,
years straight.
maybe if he, hey, shut the fuck up. Maybe if he wasn't doing outlandish shit, he wouldn't make the news cycle all the time. And we're not gonna come. You're not coming up here and monologuing. Answer my when I ask you a question. Answer my fucking questions. Maybe if he wasn't doing outlandish shit, he wouldn't make the fucking headlines, right?
Okay. So I'm thinking every president has done something outlandish or outlandish shit
Okay,
that other people, other
now you're
Americans
you are
decided
full
wasn't
of shit.
outlandish.
Tell me one thing that Joe Biden has done that has been as outlandish as all of these executive orders that he's done. Come on, man, be for real.
Uh, Biden allowed outsiders to control the presidency. He made no decisions. That's
What are you
treason.
talking about? That's what
So that's one thing he did.
Donald Trump is doing that right now. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, Donald Trump is in full control.
Donald Trump,
He's thinking for
Hey,
himself so
shut the fuck up.
that I
Shut the fuck up. Donald Trump is allowing Doge and Elon Musk, people that weren't approved by Congress, to come in here and do shit that is unprecedented in this fucking country. Joe Biden has never done that. Be fucking for real.
well, at least it's Trump's decision. Never made any of these decisions.
You know,
Some of them he did,
hey,
but he's full, he
what
was
are the three branches? What are the three
fully
branches?
controlled by
What are the three branches of
interests.
government? What are the three branches of government?
Oh, Lord. We got executive, we got the legislative, and we got the judicial.
Okay, how many amendments to the Constitution are
Um, how many amendments are there? What is it? 15, 16,
there? You're
17?
an
I don't
idiot.
know. I mean, I'm not.
You're an idiot.
Uh,
What are the first 10
yeah,
called?
somewhere around there.
What are the first 10 called?
So what?
What are the first 10 amendments called?
I didn't hear what you said.
What are the first 10 amendments called?
That slipped my mind for the moment.
You're an idiot.
What's your point?
You're an idiot. Get out of here. Get out of here. The concert. I can't read your name. You're a Trump supporter?
Yeah, absolutely.
What state did you vote out of?
Orlando, Florida.
Okay, two-part question. One, what was the main reason that you voted for Donald Trump? And two, over the past few weeks, tell me something that has had a positive impact on your life that Donald Trump has done with these executive orders.
Okay, that's easy. All right, so I voted him in because it made no sense voting a losing team back into the White House. Everything was up. You knew it. I knew it. Gas was going up. Inflation, house costs, everything going up. So you can't say
What happened in the beginning of 2020?
2020
What happened in the beginning of 2020?
got real. So the president was dealt a hand.
Which had to do with
England.
right. It was a fucking global pandemic. Inflation was worldwide. How is that specific to just Joe Biden and the United States? The answer is it's not. Be fucking for real, man.
Okay, all right, princess. See, how long did it take Joe Biden to fix?
I'm asking the questions. I asked you to now answer the second part.
I just asked. I
The
said,
second
how
part.
long did it take
I said, tell me over the past few weeks what the something that Donald Trump has done that has impacted your life in a positive manner over the past 3 weeks.
All right, we're getting there, sweetheart. Just let me keep on
Okay.
talking, and then you'll see why I'm
All
talking
right.
about.
I'm just dropping you because you're an idiot.
All right, you're way too
CCPH.
old to be acting like this.
What? Are you here to tone police my life, crybaby?
You're way too old to be acting like this.
Okay. Well, hey, baby bottles in the chat for this
Acting
guy.
fucking
What do you do to a kickball? What do you do to a soccer ball?
eat on my nuts, faggot.
Oh, see, that didn't take long. All right. J.A., are you a Trump supporter? J.A., are you a Trump supporter? Guess not. What's going on, Sylvia?
Hello, just woke up.
That's okay. Yeah.
Like, eye open.
Sean X, you're asking why am I getting an audience? Come on up here and I'll tell you. Tim, you're a Trump supporter?
Yes,
Okay, what state did you vote out of?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, two-part question. One, what was the main reason that you voted for Donald Trump? And two, over the past few weeks, something that Donald Trump has done that has had a direct and positive impact on you.
He made me happy.
Hmm. I'm looking for actual conversations. Shay Horner, you're a Trump supporter?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm not allowed to answer that question.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Not even looking to be on this panel. Boy.
Gary Bennett, are you a Trump supporter?
No.
Okay, well, thanks for coming up. Friendly Friday, Gary. Friendly Friday between 12 and 2. C222222222. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay, what state did you vote out of?
I voted out of Wisconsin.
Okay, Wisconsin. All right, that's cool. So two-part question. Two-part question. Um, one, what was the number one reason why you voted for Donald Trump? And two, over the past 3 weeks, which one of Donald Trump's executive orders, because he doesn't know how to do a policy, has had a direct and positive impact upon you?
Nothing because I voted for Kamala. So thanks for your time.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
weird. All right, I mean, I can't hate. I can't hate for that. So
No, but I mean, geez.
that's all right. Friendly Friday, ma'am. Friendly Friday, please. We'd love to hear from you. Let's see. What does this say? Impeachment. Yeah. Where'd it go? Transparency. Trump supporters, please request up. I want to know why. Number one, why you voted for Donald Trump, and number two, which one of his executive orders has had a direct and positive impact on your life. So that's what I want to know. So please come up. I know we have 270 people in here. I know there's got to be at least someone in here that wants to come up here and share. Why? All right, I got another request right here. Leeds Rottweiler. Okay. And I'm not dealing with any bullshit today. So if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. Leeds, are you a Trump supporter? Leeds, are you a Trump supporter?
Keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you.
All right, man. I appreciate you too. I love the dog, by the way.
No, sir. Just want to let you know I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Roger that, sir. I love that dog. Thank you, thank you. Friendly Friday, Leeds. Friendly Friday, 12 to 2. Please come up. We need a bigger turnout for Friendly Friday. Courtney, are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay, and what state did you vote out of?
Ohio.
Ohio. All right. So two-part question. One, what was the number one reason you voted for Donald Trump? And then number two, which one of Donald Trump's executive orders has had a direct and positive impact on you in the past few weeks?
Well, mostly he is keeping illegals out of our country.
Okay, okay, we're gonna go point by point. So immigration, is that right?
Yes,
Okay,
and I'm
hang
answering
on.
your question, so
I
let me
know,
answer
I
your
know, but
question.
we're taking it point by point.
Um,
Hang on, we're taking it point by point. Okay, immigration. So tell me,
To answer your question,
I
you
just
can
said
answer
we're
your question.
taking
I'm
it
trying
point.
to answer it.
I just said we're taking it point by point. Immigration. I want you to tell me what the current asylum policy reads.
I don't really care about all of that.
Okay, so
Like, to this country,
if immigration is,
this country legally,
if
you can stay.
immigration, okay,
To stay in a country illegally.
hey, get your own fucking live if you want to monologue and hate on the brown people. Answer my fucking question. Why don't you know?
That's crazy.
All right, well,
That's crazy.
you can get fucked. I'm not
At
on
least
bullshit today. I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a fuck today. You come up here, you answer my fucking questions, or you get the fuck out. You just fucking get the fucking boot. I don't give a shit.
just going to explain to her that requesting asylum, which you were trying to ask her about, is a legal way to enter since she's so upset.
Yeah, yeah. These people are fucking idiots.
Yeah, I agree.
uh, Finley, she most certainly did. If I would have given her another 60 seconds, we would have heard about the cats and the dogs. 100%. Faith, get in the box. It says this man has been in office for 3 weeks. Come on up here.
Frank is not loading in.
Yeah, he's not. Frank, please request up again. Fix your Wi-Fi. The gift go, we got 20 tiny, tiny gift go right here. I'm pinning the gift go right here. Also, don't forget about subscriptions. We need to beef up the subscriptions here because we're going to be doing a virtual book club. We just need more participants to be able to do that. So I appreciate it. Why am I, why would I pull my Cash App sticker down? All right, Gina, just go into my profile and hit subscribe. Gina, just click onto my profile and uh, it's not covering the I can read. Can you read the question in my live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, oh, nothing's covering it.
Okay.
Wait, was he talking? No, lower. It's covering. No, nothing's covering the question.
Uh, big W's in the chat for Hondo, please. Or Archie. W's in the chat for Archie. 25 W's in the chat for Archie. For not putting up with MAGA's bullshit this morning. I don't see that I'm covering anything. Let's see. Is that better? Okay. On my end, it wasn't covering, but go ahead. So W's, and by the way, Archie's he's a pretty he's I don't know how long he's been a supporter, but as of late, he's been a great supporter, coming and participating in the lives, and as always, funding the live as well. So W's in the chat. All right, let's see here.
People are saying turn it to your left. It looks fine to me.
I don't know what.
Yeah, this is weird because I can read it. It says, "What has Trump done for you?"
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's covered.
Oh, oh, you're talking about. He's talking about the W in the question.
It's fine. Like I literally, nothing is covered. Nothing is like to the like. Some people are saying it's cut off a little bit. Some people saying it's fine.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I haven't edited the background that you made, Crow, so I just put it up there as you made it. I don't know what the uh I'm not sure what to do. Yeah. Yeah. As long as everybody can read what has Trump done for you, I think we're fine. Okay, keep tapping the screen and sharing the live. All right, let's see. All right, Trump supporters, where you at? We had a little bit of a lag in what's going on there. Um, let's see. Yeah, so if you want to do a subscription, you just you click on my name, I think, and then it'll say subscription in like under the profile picture and stuff like there, and you can subscribe right there. Um, Bree said she can make me a new one. Go to his page. It's easier. I don't know what that means. All right, Trump supporters, where you at? Where you at? Where you at, Trump supporters? we hit our 20 tiny tiny gift go. Let me go ahead and put us another small one up there. That helps keep us in the FYP. Let's do let's see. Let's do 20 high bears. We'll do 20 high bears. Bear with me, bear with me. All right, there we go. All right, all right, all right. So again, Mark, what is going on? All right, well, there's our high bears. So yeah, I'm not down. I'm not playing any shit this morning. If you're gonna come up here with vague answers and monologuing and diarrhea of the mouth, then it's just going to be a non-player. If you try to power down my live by over talking me, I'm just going to kick you. I don't care if I sit here for 10 minutes with no opposition. I ain't putting up with it today. Today is Sunday, and I've been doing this shit for fucking just like every day for about a fucking week. So I've about had it. All right, let's see. We got some money in the box here. Frank Maria, hopefully you can connect this time, Frank. Hopefully, Frank can connect this time. Frank, you connected. Good morning.
Good morning,
What state did you vote out of, sir?
New York.
New York. All right, two-part question, but we're going to break it down in pieces, okay? So the first part of the question is one, the number one reason why you voted for Donald Trump. And then the second part is over the past 3 weeks, which one of Donald Trump's executive orders has had a direct and positive impact on you? So again, when you tell me the first part, we'll stop there and talk about it and then do the second part. So go ahead.
I voted for Donald Trump because I like his policies.
Okay, but you got to name a policy. Name a policy.
Safe and secure borders.
What policy is that? He
You
shot he
mean
because he shot down the bipartisan border bill, so he really didn't even do anything policy related. I don't even think during his term. And then the bipartisan border bill we had during Biden's term, he got Langford and his cronies to shoot that down. So tell me what policy that relates to Donald Trump are you speaking of specifically?
I am speaking about safe and secure borders, and
There-
Donald Trump shot that bipartisan bill down because it still allowed more than the share of illegals to still come into the country.
Okay,
No, it didn't.
hang on.
It actually said a cap.
Yeah, Sylvia, let me ask him this question and then you take over.
Okay.
Because you know what I'm going to ask, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Before I let my Army veteran buddy Sylvia here dog walk me through this, uh, what the hell? So Frank, I want you to tell me the most basic piece of information regarding immigration is the asylum policy. Can you tell me what the asylum policy reads?
No, I couldn't tell you
So
what these.
why are you coming into a debate? Why is immigration your number one thing, but you don't know shit about it? You don't know what the most basic piece of information regarding immigration is. Why is that? No, my question is why don't you know? My question is why don't you know?
Why don't I know? I
Did you,
guess I don't follow some of the
why?
policies.
Okay, if you're okay, so
I go by the numbers. I
if
go
you
by
have
the
issues, if you have issues with things that are going on, would you agree or disagree that it's important to inform yourself by doing some research on the things that are related to the issues that are bothering you? Yes or no?
Yes, it
Why
is.
didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that?
Why didn't I do that?
Why didn't you do that?
Because I go by the numbers that were
You
being
don't you
told.
don't even know what the asylum policy is. So how do you know what the numbers are?
Why don't you tell me what the
I,
asylum
you're
policy is?
that's not my job. Your job is to know when you're coming into a debate. But so just to make it clear, chat, Frank's number one gripe, moan, bitch, and complaint is immigration, but he doesn't know shit about fuck about the policy. Now, I'm gonna let Sylvia take over and share her part with you so we can educate you. Go ahead, Sylvia.
No, educate me. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Well, what you said about the bipartisan legislation that's sitting on Mike Johnson's desk that he still is not put on the floor of the House for a vote. Um, that bill actually set a cap for daily entries.
So after 3.5 years, they wanted to sign a bipartisan bill to put a cap on it. What about the other 3.5 years that they let over 25 million of them into the country?
And there's 25 million were not let into the country in 4 years. That's just that's misinformation. And actually, all 4 years, legislation has been trying to be introduced, and the Republicans fought it, or basically just wouldn't vote on it. We couldn't get anything passed.
So
The Republicans kept fighting the Democrats on it. And when they finally got a standalone bipartisan bill, Trump made Mike Johnson kill it.
I guess Trump made Mike Johnson kill it because he didn't like what was in it.
So he could run on immigration and stir up the base, and fearmonger you, thinking there was this huge crisis at the border that needed to be addressed.
So when you were watching the news channels and they were showing thousands upon thousands of millions upon people,
the news channels never showed thousands upon thousands or millions of people at the border on a daily basis.
They didn't.
They did. Go ahead. Go to CBS News. Go to ABC News. Go to AP. Go to BBC and show us videos of all these thousands upon millions coming into the country.
Well, those news channels weren't going to show that because they're all Democrat.
No, they're not. No, they're not. ABC, and NBC, CBS, Reuters, BBC. No, they're not.
So where I live on Long Island, New York,
we're not a border state, so it doesn't really affect you like it does me here in Texas, where I live, and there is not a border crisis.
So 4 years ago, when I barely saw any migrants here on Long Island, and in the past 4 years, I saw them triple and double. Where did they come from?
That's anecdotal evidence. You can't prove it, and I can't disprove it. So sorry, that doesn't count.
Right. Well, what about all the mass corruption in the last 3 weeks that Trump has uncovered in the spending of the government?
Hey, Sylvia, hang on one sec. Frank, so let me ask you this. So if somebody covers up moving around money to hide a payoff to somebody, would you consider that corruption?
You're not going to bring up the bullshit charges that the Democrat legal warfare was put against Trump, are you? You're not going to go that route, are you?
I actually am, but you're a hypocrite.
Billions of dollars that the Biden crime family from Ukraine and from this.
Well, can you provide me a source? I need you to provide me a source.
He's talking about when President Biden was vice president, and he made that one remark that has been continuously taken out of context when he was conducting foreign policy on behalf of the United States, along with the rest of the world, who wanted a prosecutor to be removed.
Yeah, he wanted the prosecutor to be removed because he knew that him and his son were going to get jailed.
No, Burisma wasn't even being investigated. It had nothing to do with Hunter and nothing to do with Burisma.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with
Google. Just do a simple Google search, and credible news organizations will explain what was happening at the time, where the rest of the world, because he was at, I think, the International Monetary Fund Summit or something like that, where the European Union, with everybody was all in unison about having that corrupt prosecutor.
Well, let me ask you guys.
There was rampant corruption going through the Ukraine government at the time.
Let me ask you guys a question, honestly, because I go back and forth with Democrats all the time. Honestly.
You're not a Democrat.
Whatever you are, whatever you guys are. If President Biden and Kamala Harris were doing such a great job running the country, then why did over 75 million people vote them out? Right.
No, well, actually, he didn't get like 50% of the popular vote. And actually, when you add her popular votes plus the third party votes, actually more people voted than he got in popular votes, showing that the country did not want him. It was the electoral college that elected him into office. He actually went by the popular vote, he didn't get 50% of the popular vote.
Up until 10 years ago, I could give a shit who the president was, just as long as my paycheck and my benefits were here for me and my family. But when Trump ran in 2016, he started saying drain the swamp. And 35 years ago, his policies and his things in politics stood the test of time. He's been saying the same thing, that the country can't sustain all the mass corruption and giving billions
Hey,
of dollars to other
Frank,
countries.
Frank, let me ask,
Corruption into positions into our government as we speak.
Frank,
No.
Frank, listen, thank you. Hey, yeehaw. Hey, Frank. So, do you know who Pam Bondi is? Trump appointed her as a. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Did you know like around 2000? So your issue is corruption. Check this out. So in 2013, Trump University was getting investigated for fraud, right? She was rerunning for her position. I believe it was in Florida. She was
She was running for Attorney General of Florida.
yeah, she was supposed to be investigating. She was part of a like a 2 or 3 person prosecutorial team to investigate Trump University and the fraud, right? But like I said, at the same time, she was running for re-election for her seat. Trump sent her $25,000 campaign donation, and then she pulled off the prosecutorial team. Do you think that sounds like a little bit of corruption?
I don't know. Listen, you guys, everybody has their own version of what Trump did, corruption, that. And I just, for the life of me, just looking at the country in an overall picture, I just can't believe that anyone would humanly possibly think that under Biden Harris, the country was in a better position. It's mind blowing.
Name a Biden policy that you think made the country go in the direction that it did. Which one of those policies did that?
Every one of their
Well,
policies.
no, not everyone. Name a policy. Which one?
What is?
That's not a policy. Open borders is not a policy.
It's not a
No,
policy.
open borders is not a policy. That's not even a thing. I said name a policy.
Policies with everything, with the transgenders, the this,
Oh,
the
here the fuck we go. Here the fuck we go. I knew I would get you to it, Frank. I knew I would fucking get it to you. You're a fucking piece of shit transphobe. That's the truth.
How's that sound? You look like a typical Democrat douchebag.
What does a typical Democrat douchebag look like?
Like you. That's what it looks like.
Is that right?
Democrat, Gunny. You are.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were an independent like me that used to, vote for Republicans actually until 2015. Until Trump came down that escalator.
Anyone that lives in this country, and is for the evil, corrupt policies of Pelosi, Schumer, the Bidens, the Clintons, they kill people.
Can I bring somebody up?
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't. I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't corrupt Republicans. The whole government.
I'm sorry, I'm going to make a mod announcement. Can I bring someone up if he wants to talk about the transgender issues?
Yeah, who is it?
Hex.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hex, request up. Where are you? So I can bring you up.
I sent a message to Lady too. She's online, but I don't know if she's checking it out. Yeah. Where's Hex? I thought I was following Hex. Hex, come on up, Frank. We're gonna get somebody to help to talk to you about the transgender. Okay, 1 minute. All right. So Frank, while we're waiting, um, Hex is gonna come up, and we want to have a serious conversation about the transgender issues. Would that be okay with you? I'm gonna send you a request to unmute your mic. I just sent you a request to unmute your mic, Frank. Go ahead. Frank, Hex is gonna come up here and speak with you on the topic of the transgender um legislation and all that kind of stuff. Because I really wanted so as of late I really like digging into the mind of MAGA and seeing what the real issue is. I mean, I know what it is specifically. I just I like to see you guys push yourself up in the pretzel of trying to defend.
The real issue with MAGA people is that We want a strong, proud, safe country. We don't want a government that's running on putting people in positions because of their skin color, their gender.
That's not what's happening. But anyway,
That was what was happening under Biden.
We're getting people put in positions for how much money they paid into a campaign. We have a billionaire now in our data systems that has no business being in our data systems and accessing your classified information.
You talking about Elon Musk?
Trucker just put it on Doge's website. Okay, so let's not talk about you don't want to talk about that corruption.
Hey, poop emojis in the chat for Frank for being a POS, by the way. Poop emojis in the chat. Okay, I got Hex coming up. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. I had to mute that.
That's fine.
And I got you covered, Hex. So don't worry. If he needs to be muted, he'll be muted.
All right, we got Frank.
So Frank, the problem with trans people. Frank, if you need to, just tap on your avatar and you should be able to, unmute your mic. You should find the little picture of a microphone and just touch it. Or
Touched it.
There you go.
All right, she wants to know, Hex wants to know what's your violation by Frank. I got to get rid of you. And then I just got flagged for harassment and bullying. What the fuck? People are like so fucking weak, I tell you. All right, we had to get rid of Frank, and then my live got flagged. We'll keep an eye on the numbers. Um, will it affect my live if I drop him and bring him back up, or how does that work?
I don't know. Do you know that?
I know that Shauna's done it before. I know if you guys know Shauna, but I know that like if you come back, I think it's fine, but it's up to you.
Okay, Frank, request back up. We're still, yeah, Frank, request back up, please.
And don't come in with an attitude. We're just doing, what basically TikTok tells us to do. If you get flagged like that while you're on a panel, we drop you. Give it a minute or two, and we'll bring you back up.
There he is.
Now, Frank, allow Hex to ask you some questions, please. And he's always very polite, so.
Yeah. So, what's the issue, that you're having? What's your fear with it, Frank?
I don't have any fear with gays, lesbians, transgenders. I don't have any problem with them.
Gay people, lesbian people, or trans people?
I just don't like when it's pushed on people and put into politics, or people run on that in politics.
So can you provide me one page or paragraph in Kamala Harris's A New Way Forward for the Middle Class? It's 82 pages worth, but I would ask you to go try to find me the word transgender in it.
I've never read her 82 page. I didn't read anything that was published by her.
How would you know that she, as you said, they're pushing it onto people?
Well, I said politically, the people that were put into positions.
So
I don't know the woman's name that was in
let's
charge.
talk legislative branch, Frank. Legislative branch. We've not done anything but try to protect trans people from countless legislation attacking us. So, do you know how many bills were brought last year alone?
No, I don't.
669 bills. Near 500 failed because we have constitutional fucking rights. And we have Democrats that are defending us in the House and in the Senate.
These are bills brought by Republicans attacking transgender
Democrats. I honestly feel like the Democrats haven't done enough for trans people. I feel like we wouldn't be here right now with as much disinformation that we have on our communities.
Would you say the people that are pushing it politically are the Republicans? Not the Democrats, as he's trying to accuse Democrats of pushing it politically onto us, is what he said?
Because trans people have been existing since before the modern era. This only became a problem in 2016. I've been trans for 10 years.
It became a problem in 2016, so I guess you're going to try and blame that on Trump as well.
No, actually, I blame it on North Carolina that tried to bring a bathroom bill attacking trans rights. Then in 2016 or 2017, Trump was quoted saying that they should leave it alone. Everything's fine as it is. And then in 2017, 2018, it became a talking point. That is not our fault. So we've been existing for what? Forever. There was literally Roman people that were also trans. There's gender diverse people everywhere. We only make up 1.1% of the population. So if we were actually doing this global takeover and had all this legislation from the Democrats and all this running on politics and all of this indoctrination within schools, you would think the percentage of the trans population wouldn't be 0.6% youth, right? You would think that that would be larger.
I would think.
Yeah, so that's literally what we make up. It's 1.1%, 1.6 million Americans. If you divvy that 0.5% are adults and 0.6% of this population, which is, by the way, according to 2023 census, 334.9 million. So why are we focusing in on 1.1% of this population?
Well, I'm not focusing in on it. We brought up a subject before about, I said about President Biden putting people of color, sexuality into position.
It's not happening either. So they're perfectly qualified.
What was the person's name?
The fact that they have a sexual orientation or gender identity or race is only the fact that they were not refused. That is a part of DEI. You keep thinking that DEI is somehow picking up anybody on the side of the street that looks a certain way or is in a marginalized community when they have to meet every single fucking requirement to get the job. It's literally just making sure employers or even our executive branch does not discriminate if they see a Jose Gonzalez or if they see on the application a Daquan Johnson. If they see these names, they are not allowed. They're literally supposed to call that person and see if that person is fully capable of the job and not discriminate against them. That's what DEI is.
We're on a panel.
What's up, Grumpy Grandpa?
How's it going? I hear there's a trans talk over here. Thanks. Need any help?
You got it. I need to make espresso. I went this morning to wake up to go make coffee, and I was out of it. So, good morning, Grumpy Grandpa.
Hi, Sylvia. Good morning. How are you, sweetie?
I'm good.
Great. Yeah, I'm a trans man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a trans man.
yes, I am. Born a woman.
Well, then you're not a man.
Yes, I am. I'm a more of a man than you'll ever be, my dude.
I
Would you
think
want to meet me? Would you want me to be in the bathroom next to your wife or your daughter, sir?
No,
Exactly. Exactly. But what you voted for is exactly that.
no.
Exactly.
I voted to keep you out of the locker rooms and out of the bathroom.
But you see, here's the thing, my dude. You can't do that. Because what you've done is you forget that there's a whole other side of this. Whole other side of this. Trans men.
What would be
Oh,
the
you're
other
thinking
side
about
of that?
women. You're thinking about women. And you have no respect for women when you think like that. None whatsoever.
I have respect for
Women are women. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. Admit it. You would not want to, if you saw me on the street, you would never fucking know, would you?
Yeah, probably if you were on the other side of the street from 100 feet away. But
Nah, you'd never trust me. Trust me, guy. You would never know. Never. Trust me.
Frank, you did it.
Sorry?
Grumpy Grandpa was a man. As soon as
You
he
know,
turned his camera on,
He's a man.
I'll tell you, from his voice and his beard, he must be on a lot
I'm
of.
a fucking, yeah, I'm a
That's
fucking
what shows-
trans man. So I get to go into the bathroom with your females You don't want that, do you?
No,
No, exactly. So how is
never be in a bathroom near my
you
wife.
pick and choose what you want, which is fine, just like you pick and choose your fucking Bible verses. This is bullshit. Just like you pick and choose your fucking government bullshit. You guys have no fucking arguments. None.
You don't pick and choose your government
No,
issues.
I tell the fucking truth, my guy.
You're not picking the truth. The truth is, it was Adam and Eve.
Oh my God. No. See, what you're looking at is a fairy tale.
Hold on,
That book
Grumpy.
is a book of fairy tales.
Yes, and if I
There's
can,
nothing. Did you forget about Lilith, my guy?
Bible,
Adam's first wife?
fairy tale.
what about
Forget about
Genesis
Lilith?
2, Frank?
Adam's first
Frank.
wife?
Hold on, Grumpy. What
The
about
Bible?
what about Genesis 2?
Listen, you guys have your own.
What about Genesis 2?
You guys have your own agenda.
What about Genesis 2?
I was hoping, Lainey. Hi, Lainey. Hi, sweet girl. How are you?
Hi, Lane.
Frank,
Good morning.
in Genesis 2,
Frank, you brought the heat.
in Genesis 2, they talk about a non-gendered previous to Adam and Eve. Right? Frank, since you want to use your book against this?
Go ahead.
Okay. So why are you being transphobic when your own Bible writes about the non-gendered?
I'm not being transphobic. I said earlier, I have no
Make this
problem.
copy. Hi, Lainey. Good morning. I'm gonna give you.
I'll let the voice of reason talk. Go ahead, Lainey. You're muted.
I'm sorry. Hi, Frank. How are you?
How are you?
So, what Grumpy is saying is exactly what these laws in red states are doing. Is that they're focusing on trans women and femmes and saying they don't belong in women's bathrooms
Alexa, turn it on.
because they're men or whatever. Or they'll say, well, that's fine or whatever, but the fact is that, men could put on a wig and, pretend to be a woman and say that they're trans and go into women's spaces and do bad things, right? Because we all know that, that cisgender men, the ones that are not trans, are the ones that commit 99% of all assaults of that nature, right? But my question to you is, if trans people did not exist at all, could a man do that?
Probably not.
Why not?
What?
Why not?
Why not? I don't know. You guys, like I said before, you guys have your own agenda, and I didn't say
The agenda is literally just to continue doing the things that we've always done without a government interference. Trans people have been using the spaces that align with their gender identity as long as those spaces have existed, because trans people existed before those spaces did.
I don't remember 20 years ago going into a bathroom or looking up at a sign.
Because you didn't notice trans people. Because the right wing think tanks didn't tell you to.
You wouldn't even have realized that a transgender person was standing next to you anywhere in public.
And the likelihood is slim. It's only 1% of the population.
Mhm.
Frank, listen, man, you just need to admit that you're transphobic and just and learn to look at it from a different perspective. That would be really great if you just looked at it from a different perspective.
I don't judge human beings on their sexuality. I judge human beings on if they're a good person.
Oh, you judge. So judging is bad. Judging is not your responsibility.
No, and I don't judge people. I
But you
judge.
just said you did.
No, I treat people.
Frank, you just judged me by how I looked. You said I look like a typical Democrat Kamala Harris supporter. How is that not judging me?
Well, how are you guys judging Republicans? You
We
guys
don't judge them. We see you and we call you out because we see you.
Right, we see Democrats.
No, Eric just weird shit just said that he humans. You don't even look at that. Grumpy, how old are you? Grumpy, my brother, how old are you?
Hey, hang on. Can somebody unmute Billy Perez, please? He sent me $1 to get a message through. Billy Perez, please unmute Billy Perez.
Anyway, I dropped in. Laney, the experts are here. I'm going to drop. I love you guys.
Before you go, Grumpy, I just needed to send a point home that I heard real fast. So, Grumpy, you're what? You're like 60, right?
62, yeah.
Yeah. My mom is 75. She came out, what, in 1990? Because she's like 20 years ago into this. Really? Because, like, my mom came out fully in 1990, and you're 62. I'm pretty sure both of these ages is more than 20 years ago. Yeah. But and Grumpy, were you using men's rooms like a long time before 2016, let's say?
Yeah. If I had to, because before my transition, which I started in late in life at 55, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a 6 foot man. I am not the typical trans man, to be perfectly honest with you. But it was the androgyny was real. So if I went into a women's restroom, it was chaos. So, listen, trans people don't like going to the bathroom in public. We don't. Because
In fact, trans people have a much higher rate of bladder, kidney, and urinary tract infections because we hold it in. Because we're terrified of cisgender people.
It doesn't have a stall, I don't go.
So I also like to clock it that at four times after you informed him that you were a trans man, he said you would not go into the bathroom with his wife. Like 4 times after you already explained to him that you're a trans man, he said this, not realizing what he said. Yeah, that's literally what you voted for, Frank.
Frank, can I?
He already knew I was a guy. He thought it was a guy when I walked in and turned his camera on. He did.
Yep.
I did think you were a grumpy old guy. I did.
And he is.
My grumpy. That's my friend. That's my call name.
Frank, can I just let you like, if I was in a ladies' room or a women's bathroom, and I saw Grumpy Grandpa walk in, it would get my attention, and I would ask, "Are you sure you're in the right bathroom?"
Right. Even though I can't read.
If Lady walked in, I wouldn't say anything.
Nobody ever does. Like, I just go into the stall, I do the thing that everybody does there, and then I wash my hands. And
We do this. We put blinders on. Absolutely. We put blinders on.
I've literally never seen anyone his genitals in a public restroom. But if you do, then you're either doing something wrong or that person's doing something wrong. But it's not an issue. Now, I would like to add on to something that Heck said earlier about it starting.
For those of you that voted for Donald Trump, I hope you're happy. In just the first 25 days, he ended health care for men.
Sorry, there was a sound. There was a year after the Obergefell versus Hodges case, right? That was the SCOTUS case that's the Supreme Court that legalized GAY marriage, right, in the whole nation. And so they were like, well, dang, we had been saying that it was going to, destroy the sanctity of marriage for decades. And we were able to hold that off for a long, long time and keep those people from having equal right to marriage. But we lost. So we need a new boogeyman. And so all of these right-wing think tanks, we've seen the correspondence between them because there was a trans person that was able to acquire that correspondence because at the time she was being used. She was being used by anti-trans groups. This was Elisa. And so she was getting correspondence at the time because at the time she had been indoctrinated into this anti-trans nonsense and detransitioned. She later retransitioned, and she let everybody know this correspondence. So this was the Eagle Forum, Heritage Foundation, Alliance Defending Freedom, Family Policy Alliance, and the American Principles Project, and there are like a dozen others. But the president of that group, he said that their goal, he told this to the New York Times, by the way, that the group's goal is to eliminate all transition care, like just to eradicate trans people.
I read that.
But starting with the children, because that's where we can get a consensus, right?
They've even gone up to as far as 18 is an adult. 18, you're an adult, so they've changed it to 19.
And there are other states that are arguing for it to be 21 because 21 is legal.
Yeah.
There's others that are saying that it should be after 25 because of the misreading of a scientific study about brain development, that the cohort ended at 25. So they just took that to mean that the brain stops developing at 25 when it in fact continues to develop until it begins to deteriorate in older age. Right. So in any case, they are trying to get it up to that point because that's when a lot of people are not able to be on their parents' insurance anymore. So now they're off their parents' insurance, and they, may have difficulty finding a job because guess what? There's a lot of discrimination against trans people in employment. And we are vastly underrepresented in the workforce, including in the government, as you were talking about earlier. As Hex was mentioning, we're around 1% of the population. Let's look at the House of Representatives. We just got our first trans representative there. And that's how many people are in the House? 400 something?
Yeah, I think it's like, I can look it up, but.
There's 435 members of the House.
435. Okay, so 1 out of 435. Is that 1% or is that like less than a quarter percent? Right, less than a quarter percent. So we are underrepresented in the government, in fact. As well as pretty much all marginalized groups, including cisgender women, right? Y'all are complaining that, like, DEI, right, is taking, unqualified people when in fact a lot of qualified people who happen to be parts of marginalized groups are being left out, right? And there's a lot of mediocre YT men who are able to take those positions just because they're YT men, right? That regardless of the fact that their qualifications are lower. Take our presidency, for instance. Um, they elected a YT man because he was a YT man, even though he was a felon and had assaulted a woman and had been adjudicated liable for that. So, anyways, these groups, they started doing this. They were the ones that wrote the legislation that got passed around, and they're also the ones responsible for the rhetoric. And they just took the same script. They called it the promise to America's children. They said, we're protecting women, we're protecting children because we don't want women assaulted in bathrooms and we don't want kids indoctrinated. Guess what? That's the same script they said in the 70s. It was called the Save the Children at that time. Save the Children campaign. It was started by Anita Bryant. They said lesbians don't belong in bathrooms with women, right? Because with straight women at the time, they said, don't call us straight, we're normal, right? They said that GAY and lesbian people shouldn't be around kids because they'll indoctrinate them because they can't make kids of their own, which is ridiculous because 37% of queer folks have kids, including myself. So, this has all been a manufactured mass panic. Trans people are just the current folk devil. They're just using the same script, a very similar script as well to what they used in Jim Crow, right, with regard to bathrooms. So I'm sorry that you fell for it, but literally, we did not start suddenly demanding to use bases that we were already using. It was just that Republicans pointed out that we were using them and used it to create a narrative, to put the crimes of cisgender men onto us so that you don't pay attention to the things that they're doing.
So what age do you think is a good age for a person that feels that they're born in the wrong body, children being taught in schools, or teachers being allowed to tell students 5 years old, 7 years old, it's okay, Johnny, if you
aren't doing that.
Jill.
I was a public school teacher for 14 years. I have a kid in public school in New York. Okay. I asked him the other day, I said, he's in 6th grade now. I said, throughout your entire elementary school, he's a smart kid too, by the way. I said, how many times has any of your teachers ever mentioned LGBTQI plus people or the subject at all? He said, exactly 0. 0 times. 0 times. Again, you fell for a narrative. Now, if a kid comes out to an adult, right, to a trusted adult, like a teacher or a school counselor, and they say, my parents are wildly homophobic. I hear them saying things all the time against people like me. And so please, I needed to tell somebody, but don't tell my parents. That's on the parents. The parents were not trustworthy enough for their kid to trust them with who they are. If you want your kid to involve you, then be someone they can trust. Don't be an asshole, in other words.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with transgenders or gays.
Transgender people. Or people.
Transgender people. I don't have an issue with that. I just the topic before early in the conversation was of people being put in position because of their
and Hex explained that that's not how it works, and I explained how we are still vastly underrepresented.
Yeah, I immediately pushed back on that, Frank, saying that is not happening. You didn't listen to me.
If I can, just to touch on to Lainey's point, not to dogpile or anything, but regarding kids and being outed to parents, there was a survey done. It's actually a well-known survey, the KFF trans survey in 2022. And I just want to say that 3 in 10 trans adults in that study said that they experienced homelessness or got kicked out while they were growing up. And nearly 4 in 10 were BIPOC.
Yeah,
40%.
40% of all unhoused youth are LGBTQ plus.
Yes.
That is why, like, people are reticent to just run and tell a parent whenever a kid comes out, because it's very possible to put that kid's life at risk.
Oh, did you hear what I heard, Bubba? You hear what I heard? Like I tell you, and that comes from their homes too, because they hear their parents saying bad things, and they go to school and they say bad things. It's a sick little cycle. It needs to be broken.
Yeah.
So, Grumpy, when you were growing up, what age was it that you realized that you wanted to become a man?
I was 4 years old. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to live my life. Yeah, I was 4 years old. I knew I was different. I knew I wasn't the person that everybody was calling me. How I had to dress, it was that is the worst. Having to wear something you don't belong in, yet here we are, prancing around. No, and I would do everything I could to make it dirty. I hated them. When I was able to buy my own clothes, I looked at my mother. I was like, "Don't you ever buy me anything." Listen, man, let me explain it to you. You just don't. I just don't understand. If you could get into the mind of one trans person, it would scare the hell out of you, because you don't know what we have to fight with within ourselves to just present as what society feels like is normal. And it is killing us on the inside.
It's like wearing
Killing
a
us.
costume, and we're talking about the before time. Everybody wants to call this a costume, but like I literally wore a costume
Literally.
for 44 years.
And they're like,
Right, because when I acted like myself as a kid, I was told to stop being a girl.
I had to literally give up a friend because her mother would not let us play together. Because why? This was I was in the 4th grade. You know why? Because I was different.
Yeah.
A parent did that, not the kids. Kids don't fucking care.
Until they're taught. To be scared of people who are different.
Right. So, we just want to exist. We are here already. We didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask for this.
You have every right to exist the way everyone else does.
Absolutely.
You have
Except
every right to exist. You have every right to your own sexual preference.
But you still have a problem, and I don't understand what that is.
The problem with being with originally what I said. I felt that during the Biden administration.
Oh, I know who he's talking
But
about.
we were already here before the Biden administration. That's a moot point.
I'm not saying that you weren't here before the Biden administration, but before the Biden administration, I don't remember.
That's because you weren't listening.
Yeah.
You were not listening.
He's specifically talking about when Rachel Levine got appointed to assistant HHS secretary.
She was highly qualified for
And I have her resume, basically, her background right in front of me, and I can read it to you, where she is definitely and was definitely qualified to sit in that position for her healthcare and medical background. You just had a problem with it because she was a transgender woman. If she wasn't a transgender woman.
About him again, I want you to think of all the cabinet, all the people who've ever held a cabinet position. How many of them were trans? Exactly one, and that's her.
And he's firing women left and right. He just fired the National Archivist as a DEI hire. Are you kidding me? Now nothing is going to get done. Nothing.
I'm sure he'll put a sycophant dude there, and
probably a 12-year-old.
Frank, was I on the right track here? You thought that Rachel was hired because she's a transgender woman? Or you now understand that she was hired and appointed to that position because of her background and her resume?
To be 100% honest with you, I do not know her background and resume.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Wait, hold on, Sylvia. You don't know her background, you don't know her resume, but yet you don't like her. Why? You have no facts about her, but you have feelings, right?
Feelings, I feel like
Feelings don't matter. Feelings don't matter in feelings. I feel that way, but I would prefer that you understood and were educated than just feeling that way. Man, I'm not trying to be an ugly. I'm just trying to be realistic. Feelings ain't gonna do it for us, bro.
She has a bachelor's of biology from Harvard College that she acquired in 1979, a doctorate of medicine from Tulane in 1983. She had an internship and chief residency in pediatrics at Mount Sinai, fellowship in adolescent medicine at Mount Sinai. That is a total from 84 to 89. That was her medical training, right? So then she was a professor of pediatrics and adolescent medicine at Penn State from 93 to 2015. Physician General of Pennsylvania from 2015 to 2017. Secretary of Health of Pennsylvania from 2017 to 2021.
Yep. She was also on staff at Penn State Hershey Medical Center while she was at the Penn State College of Medicine as a professor.
Yeah.
That's highly qualified.
She's board certified in pediatrics and adolescent medicine, a fellow of the American Academy of Pediatrics, a member of the Society for Adolescent Health and Medicine.
I mean, compare her resume.
She also wasn't in charge of DHHS. She was never my boss. She was an undersecretary. You guys just thought she was in charge.
Right. Compare her resume to RFK, who's sitting right now as the HHS secretary.
Yeah. What is his medical background exactly?
Who is actually more qualified to sit in a position like that?
Yeah, he's an environmental lawyer.
But he's a white guy, so he must be qualified, right?
Yeah.
But that's the biggest point here. My boss under Biden was Xavier Becerra. You guys just thought it was Admiral Levine because Trump told you it was. She was never my boss. She worked for Xavier Becerra. You guys decided she was in charge because of fucking press conferences by a bigot without ever looking into the fact that she was never in charge. And I know this because I work for Department of Health and Human Services.
That's what we call cherry picking.
And they point her out because it's fun to misgender her and call her, by her dead name.
Misgender, yeah. Ooh.
You know what's interesting? If you go Google both of their names, you even see much being reported on at the time of I'm sorry, I always mess up his name. Is it Becerra? Xavier Becerra.
Xavier Becerra.
When he was nominated for the HHS secretary cabinet position, but there is headline after headline after headline for Rachel Levine, and basically the headlines I'm seeing right-wing sources that are basically, disparaging, like bringing attention to, oh my God, Biden, nominated a transgender woman. Now, if you want to go by qualifications, we can pull up the former secretary's qualification and compare his to RFK's to show it's actually just being put in position because of who they know.
Right. So who's doing the identity politics here? Is it the party that will hire people based on qualifications regardless of their identity, or the party that will denigrate someone and say that they're unqualified basically just because of their identity, disregarding their qualifications? Seems like it's the latter, right?
It seems, I guess, like over 75 million Americans are
Okay, we're going to scoreboard.
That's why it's over 70.
Yeah, 75 million Americans were duped into thinking that transgender people were an issue. And in fact, actually, only 4% in the exit polls, about 4% of people put transgender issues as like a top priority in their voting.
75 million people were their major topic.
We weren't even thinking about trans people. But there's a few that love coming on this app that like to pretend that was their major issue.
I don't think that over 75 million people had an issue with transgender people. I think that 75 million people.
Didn't. Pew Research also shows that a majority of America doesn't agree with the fucking attacks on trans people. So carry on, Lainey.
Let me ask the panel a question real fast, and then I'll go back to me because I'm having my coffee. All of us that do panels or host your own lives regularly, when we ask what you voted for, and I want to put in order of the top 3 things we get told is immigration, because man, they fucking hate immigration. The economy, because they go just look at the price of things the last 4 years. And then trans people, like some variation, it'll be women in sports, bathrooms, whatever. Like those are the 3 things. So it's like number 3 is on their list for shit they say on this app.
Yeah, well, it's, mostly by men also, because like women typically aren't bringing that up. Like the people that come onto my panel, which is all it's literally just me there, and it says, ask me a question. Do you have a question about trans people?
I probably wouldn't have put anything having to do with transgender people in any of my policy. I would have put that way last.
But Trump put it way first, and the Republicans spent $215 million in anti-trans ads. And do you know how many times Kamala said the word trans during the campaign? 0 times. So they're the ones that made it an issue. He made it his first day issue, and second day and third day, and so forth. So he's putting us out there as the sacrificial lamb. And giving that red meat to his followers, right? So that they're not paying attention to the nefarious shit that's going on, where he's trying to take benefits from veterans and shit like that, right?
Someone,
and I am as well.
Right.
See, Frank, that's what I tried to explain to you earlier. It's the Republicans that are pushing, as you try to say, it's the Democrats that was pushing all this. I can't remember specifically how you said it, but you said the transgenders on us.
Yeah.
And I said, no. Yeah. If you're hearing anything about transgender people, it's all coming from Republicans, and that's who's pushing it on you politically.
Yeah, they're telling you that the Democrats are doing things that they're not doing. Like literally, I have made memes with that little like drowning, the hand sticking up out of the water. And it's like the Republicans did another horrible thing, and whatever that thing happens to be, another state like banning our existence in public life. And then Biden's hand coming in, and it just goes, high five, like we got your back. That's literally the extent of Biden's support for transgender people was when the Republicans would do some horrid shit, he would go, "Y'all don't worry, we got your back. We'll fly the trans flag on the Transgender Day of Remembrance for all the ones of you that were unalived this year." Whoop-de-fucking-do.
We don't get any help such name. It's just we do this, what we do to survive, we do it on our own. We know that we're floating on an island by ourselves. I'm going to tell you.
Why do you think so many? Do you know how many mutual aid requests that I get, like, to forward on, like, and amongst like all the trans folks that I follow that pop up all the time because we have less of an access to employment and healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Hormones are a necessity. I'm not going to lie. Hormones are a necessity, and we do need to take those.
They are. Well, they're for
I don't make them anymore.
You not? Good for you. I mean, you probably wouldn't.
I do just want to add that 2024, like I told you, there were 669 bills, but in 2025, 138 bills carried over. So we're already starting the year with 138. Sorry, I got a notification. 138. There's an Amber Alert.
Because they started with that one bill in North Carolina in 2016 as a result of those think tanks writing that legislation, and then they just ramped up year after year after year.
North Carolina become the thermometer for country.
And then the Republicans put up a dude who was like at one, from the pulpit calling us demons.
Yes.
And online thirsting after trans people.
So let me ask you a question. Other than your issues with President Trump, as far as
no, it's the whole Republican Party. It's not just the president.
Where do you guys stand on all the corruption that he's revealing on how people are making $180,000 a year and they're getting $50 million?
Which is Elon making off the government right now? Is it $8 million a day?
Hold on, let me do this one because I just
I tried to explain this to you earlier that he's not exposing anything that's already out there publicly by going to the budget to see, and also the legislations that is attached to all that funding. Because every dollar is accounted for, and there's legislation attached to it, so you can read why it's in the budget and what it's being used for. He's not uncovering anything that's not already there.
Frank, you think sending $50 million? You think sending $50 million to Africa for condoms?
Knew it. I fucking knew it.
Can I explain?
The country right, or the continent right where it's going. I thought
Fucking knew he was going to say.
The epidemic there. They are literally trying to stop the spread of HIV. Come on, man.
And you know it that diseases do not stay contained within borders.
Right.
People from that area where they're having this epidemic travel to the United States. We also have people that live within these borders that travel there.
Hey, Frank.
Anybody who travels to that area of the world.
Hey, Frank.
And probably focus on diseases like cancer and other research.
They also do that.
Bro, there's already
But then guess what? Trump came in and just shut down all of the ability to publish research for weeks until that was overturned by a judge, or at least temporarily blocked by a judge, right? So, like, we have the avian flu happening right now, and he shuts down the ability for the CDC and the NIH to communicate with the public. How is that keeping us safe?
I just want to ask him one question.
Only so that they can remove the word trans from all scientific data. Isn't that fun?
a historical site.
I think that the Democrats, Fauci and Obama and Biden, I think they unleashed COVID on the world.
Oh,
You're going to get clapped if you keep saying that.
Foil hat. I'm not at home. Yeah. Hang on. Let me go get some aluminum foil.
Really,
Frank, I just have a question. Do you know the value of the contracts Elon has with the government? Do you know what the value of the money we give him is just for his contracts alone?
No, I don't.
$20 billion. He took that $20 billion and he gave Trump $180 million of it for his campaign. Trump then puts him in a position to find where we're wasting money. Do you think that a man that is making $20 billion off of taxpayers is going to be honest about like if his own contracts are wasting money?
Remember what I just said about who's being put into position because of who they know, not because of the qualifications.
Okay, wait. Okay, continue. All set now.
Well, how could you guys explain to me how people that are making 100?
No, I'm gonna need you to answer my question there, Frank.
How
Hang on, let me get it fastened on good first. Okay.
We're not pivoting, Frank. Everybody up here knows me. I don't allow pivots. You're gonna answer my question, Frank. Do you think a man making $20 billion on government contracts can be objective about those same contracts?
Wait, Hex, did you put your tinfoil hat on too?
Mm-hmm. I had it from yesterday.
But I'm motion to
Frank, you're very concerned. Like, here's the thing. Don't get it twisted. Everybody here knows me. I'll fucking tell you right now, Pelosi should be locked up for insider trading. I'll say that with my whole fucking chest.
Yep.
However, you can't compare a politician that makes a couple million to a man that's making $20 billion in contracts, then trying to tell us where we're wasting money.
There are no politicians that make a couple of million. They will make 170, 180.
I'm going to ask you the same thing hold on. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you guys yesterday. Is 20 billion more than 100 million? So why are you so focused on the 100 million and not the 20 billion?
Yeah.
I'm not focused on the difference between the amount of money. I'm focused on.
You should be, because like you're yelling about these politicians making $100 million. Meanwhile, the guy that's trying to tell you where the money's being wasted is cutting $20 billion with a big contract.
How are they worth? How are they worth?
Again, can this man be objective about where we're wasting money while getting $20 billion from the government in contracts?
He's getting $20 billion for contracts for space stuff that he's doing.
He's not doing. Hold on. He's not doing shit. He's currently running Gojek. He's not doing any of that shit. People are doing that. The workers are doing that. But he himself is not.
But yeah, he's putting $20 billion so he can put on X that his rockets had an unscheduled disassembly.
You're still not answering.
That's what he's getting $20 billion.
I am answering your question. You're just not understanding my answer. You're not understanding my answer.
My question to you is
Frank, I guarantee you I'm smarter than you. I understand your question. My point is, why should I believe that man is being objective about the waste while he's getting $20 billion in contracts? That man has a clear conflict of interest. He has a motivation. Why would you trust that?
Let's forget about Elon Musk for a minute.
I cannot forget about Elon Musk when he's the one that told you this. He is the fucking messenger. I cannot take him out of the equation. He is the messenger. We can't remove him from the equation. You can't ignore Elon.
So how is he telling the American people that politicians that are making 170 grand a year are worth 25 million?
I don't care when he's making $20 billion in contracts. You're dodging the fact that he's making $20 billion in contracts and be like, oh, look at these politicians.
We were already aware of their investments. There is an annual report that comes out every year. We can look at it. It's literally public information. We have been talking about this for a long time.
Also,
showing you things you don't already know.
Did I stutter when I said that I think that Pelosi should be locked up for insider trading? Is this not a thing I already said less than 5 minutes ago?
You've already said that, but Frank, you're pivoting a lot. I'm getting whiplash.
Their investments on Moderna that they pushed on the American people that they knew would work.
Hold on, Frank. You made me raise my voice before I had a cup of coffee, and I don't like doing that.
Hey,
I'm a moderator here, and I'm trying to get a question in to explain something to you, because you asked it. You asked about members of Congress. I had this discussion on another live yesterday. I did a quick Google search about, the wealthiest members of Congress. The first 10 that popped up were U.S. senators. 9 out of the 10 were Republicans.
How many? It was Tom Cotton.
And the richest one right now sitting in the U.S. Senate is Rick Scott from Florida.
And I said that earlier. I said that not only Democrat politicians are corrupt, Republican. I believe that all politicians
Frank,
are corrupt.
I have a question. Frank, I have a question. Frank, I have a question. if it's the inspectors general's job to do the investigating for fraud and everything, why did Donald Trump fire all 17 of them, 8 of which are suing him?
Because they're corrupt.
How would he know? How did he know? There had been no investigation at the time. He just came in and fired them. Doge wasn't even working that in that area at the time. How would he know?
I don't know.
Thank you for making my point.
How many days was it going to take Elon Musk to make back his money to Trump to get his position based on no, hold on. No, I'm not even talking about contracts. I'm talking about what we're paying him to run Doge. Because we're paying about $8 million a day to run Doge. It's going to take 45 days from the start of Doge until he makes his investment into Trump. It's a big fish, and then you get all the money he gave to the Trump campaign back.
Hey, Frank, Chris just told me, yeah, he fired the ones that were investigating SpaceX and Tesla. What do you think about that?
Anybody that he is investigating him, he is shutting them down.
Weird how he didn't go to the DOD first, because that's where a lot of waste is happening.
They're on their way.
New York, right? Do you live in New York City? Or are you out like on a Long Island?
No, I'm on Long Island. I wouldn't go within 100 miles.
Okay, well, here's a quick
Frank,
here's a quick example of if you want to put it pay for play. Guess whose charges just got dropped for corruption?
Who's
The mayor of New York City, Eric Adams.
No.
They dropped his charges.
Yeah, because he
and in return,
Trump's
make sure that Trump's immigration policy is enforced in New York City.
And
now, that's not pay for play. I don't know what is.
Those charges
technically,
those charges were brought against Adams because he stopped funding immigrants in New York City.
You mean charges that were brought against him? That basically the prosecutors were Democrats, and they were bringing the charges against another Democrat? Because Eric Adams is a Democrat.
Yeah, he's about to become Anthony.
He's about to flip it, I think, and become a Republican because of this. But
he's gonna pull a
flipping.
Yeah, he said it was his the medical issue he had.
Stroke. He said it was a stroke. He said the stroke did it.
The whole.
Where'd he go?
Oh, am I safe now to take this off?
I think you can take it back off. That was hilarious.
I really see conspiracy talk on the class.
Holler at me. So, lady, love you. Thanks. Love you.
See you, Grumpy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be God.
Have a great day. See you later, bro.
Love you too, man. Be good.
Love Gunny. Love y'all.
See ya.
I'm gonna actually assume Frank got clapped because he kept trying to pivot down the C19 rabbit hole, and TikTok will absolutely fucking clap your account for that shit.
I told him it was gonna happen too.
If I can just speak to the fact of like this whole Adams thing through the anti-commandeering doctrine, I did look into that because of former AG Jeff Sessions kind of tried to pressure states into like helping them with the immigration laws. But I do know that through enticements, like in the Constitution, they say that it's like enticements can be made for states to cooperate basically with like the federal government, but like they'd need congressional approval, and that's coming from Cato Institute. So I'm confused how the fuck that plays out. I know everything he's done so far is goddamn illegal, but I do believe that this violates the anti-commandeering doctrine.
I want to welcome Chris to the panel by doing my Chris impression of cool. Okay, so cool.
Okay, cool. I got you.
Beat around the bush and try to get to the meat of the argument.
We had too many boxes full up here, Chris. That's why I couldn't bring you up. I was trying to see if you could have rotated out with somebody, but I apologize.
I'm glad that you guys brought up the fact that the IGs that got fired were investigating, fraud within SpaceX, and Tesla. And it's crazy how the dude auditing the government doesn't want to get audited himself. Like, what?
Yeah.
But, they keep telling me he can be objective, that he's going to recuse himself from anything involving his companies. They keep telling me this.
Yeah, seriously.
Chris, you need to do like a t-shirt line or stickers or something that has a picture of you with your cowboy hat and it says, "Okay, cool."
I've actually got a guy here in Houston that would actually make me because I helped his dad raise money for a startup. He actually, I'm trying to figure out what charity I was going to do this for.
I got you.
He made me like 500 for like almost free.
Oh, no shit. That's cool.
But the caveat is it's got to be for like some sort of charity or something. So we're gonna figure that one out. But back when I used to debate religion, right, one of my key phrases when somebody was wrapping up, be like, "No problem, no problem," and then I just go right in. Yeah, so
No, no, Chris. So you know that like every unit in the military has that one guy who just make people laugh by impersonating against the other people, like the leadership in that unit. That was me. I was that fucking guy. Like I had like every fucking person in the officers' ranks down. I had every fucking NCO down. I just start to walk around while people are fucking down on shit. Just start impersonating all of them.
We asked in the comments, can we talk about J.D. Vance's speech in Munich? I have not heard it or read a transcript of it, but I'm seeing a lot of response to it from European leaders. And so, like, I'm afraid to ask, like, what did he say in his speech? Does anybody know?
I just caught the highlights on the news, but somebody else will probably be able to talk more about it other than me. I heard it was not good.
Who?
JD Vance when he was in who did he meet with? Sylvia?
He met with.
He did the AFD in Germany, and then he met, I think, somewhere else.
But he gave a speech.
He went. Yeah, he went to a speech and basically highlighted that Europe doesn't have free speech the way that America does. Like they're really overreaching into other people's countries and their sovereign nation
Hey, Chris.
and how they fucking
Gotcha.
agree.
Cornholio's here.
Guys, should we play for food a little bit? He's gonna crash out within 5 seconds. So it might get the visa check off. You guys ready for this?
Yeah, here, stand by.
Pull the pin. Oh wait, never mind. He's not
He
here. I
dropped.
was gonna say pull the pin and get
Yeah.
6 feet away. Never mind.
Thumb fit, full pin. Throw.
Has Justin paid us a visit yet?
No.
Thank you, Gunny. Gunny. Okay. Well, that's enough of that.
Oh, man, like seriously, like we're not.
Come up here with you have to come up here with the F slur. You're trying to get someone taken down. All right.
Yeah.
You just got yourself injected like before you even completed that sentence.
Well,
All right. I got to get some more Trump supporters in here. We got 244 people. We're at 0.
I got you, Gunny.
All right.
Welcome to Gunny Speaks Out. There are 237 people in this live. If you could do me a favor and tap right on his big, empty, rock-filled Marine Corps head, that'd be great. I would like to see him get up to 125, 150K right within the next, 20, 30 minutes. Just if you could just do that, that'd be great. Additionally, we're at 403 likes. What I like to do to share out the live, I like to hold my thumb in the center of the screen. When it pops up, a bunch of people pop up. Share it to all them motherfuckers. Like, it's very easy. It's actually very easy and fast and efficient. If you don't want to do that, you can just hit share and copy link. I guess that works, but I like my way better because then you're actually giving it to real people. Lastly, because TikTok is a capitalist app, the best way to boost the live is to gift the host of the panel. You can do that for as little as one single coin by clicking the heart right next to Gunny's name in the top left. And if you're like, hey, I don't want to give TikTok my money, that's fucking fair as shit. They only get a small part of it anyway. You can go ahead and hit up Gunny's Cash App. It's right there in the top right of the graphic. It's his Venmo and his Cash App is there. His PayPal's down. Don't fucking send shit there. Send it to Gunny Speaks Out. And the rest of us on the panel tend to have our Cash Apps and in our bios. So if you want to appreciate the labor that we're giving you this morning, that's the way to do it. And if you can't do anything else, just tap the screen and enjoy the live.
Bro, you'd be proud of me. I put my Cash App in my bio finally.
Apparently, as an update to my message, Sylvia has her Cash App in her bio.
That was cool,
Oh, what was
Say.
that?
Thank you so much. Holy hell.
That was cool.
So,
Thank you, Say.
Can you read one
MVP.
Can you read one of those FDA disclaimers that those infomercials you don't want to talk about, where it says, "Yeah, this is not real medical advice."
I've never seen a flying jet.
Side effects may include diet, vomiting, explosive diarrhea.
Nice. Well, guys, I'm gonna be out of the debate game until February 22nd next Saturday. So, right, so we're hopping on Twitch and YouTube some more. So that kind of sucks. This guy's not supporting me so bad. That's crazy.
Sailor Ray, thank you for gifting Hex that airplane. I had never seen that before. That was awesome. Thank you so much for taking care of Hex. I am dual streaming right now to my YouTube and Twitch, but nobody's watching on YouTube. I didn't make an announcement either, so that's part of it. But yeah.
You need to get that bot in your Discord that tells you when you're going live on YouTube. Notify me. Yeah.
How do you? Oh, I need to know how to set that
Gunny
up.
just makes me an admin in this Discord. I can put you in the Discord.
I was gonna say,
It'll take
it's
me all
free.
like an hour.
Yeah, like it's free. Like as
Okay.
soon as it finishes, like, you go live and stuff like that. So like, hey, guys, I'm on YouTube also.
Okay. So do I do that under your profile or under my server?
You got to do it in your server because what it's just going to tell you to do is like put your social media that you want to notification for. You do it on TikTok Live too.
Trying to do add admin. All right, I'll do this. Well, let's try to get some Trump supporters in here before I start messing with this. Trump supporters, where are you at?
Hopefully, Justin's at the gym.
Yeah, or in a sauna.
Yeah, he's insufferable.
Let's see, what's the Discord? I tried to get on it and YouTube. Sorry. Oh, Kingston. Uh, so if you just want to get in the chat on my Discord, it's Gunny Speaks Out. But if you want to be in the Discord with all the other links with the sources and the articles and all that stuff, you subscribe to my TikTok that way. And I just got a new subscriber, 42 Coney, to my channel. Thank you. I'm assuming that might have been you, Kingston. Yeah, all my social medias are all the same. Gunny Speaks Out. I keep it consistent because it makes it easier to find. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Trump supporters, where are you at? We have 210 people in here. I had Ronnie Snyder up here, and he dropped. We spoke to him yesterday, real briefly. Oh, Miss Connie. Okay, thank you. We spoke to Ronnie.
Y'all see this Elon post where he retweeted a meme of people calling people on social program parasites?
No.
No, wow, bro.
So again, that's a tenet of fascism. I genuinely believe we need to talk about the differences between fascism and neo-fascism because this is neo-fascism. It's the refurbished, rebrandished version that is easy to take down and fall for because they've learned from fascism in the 30s and know what would label them instantly as a fascist. So Elon is a closeted fucking Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tenant number. I believe that's tenant number 11 on Lawrence Cliff's protected corporate power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done the 14 tenets of fascism lives in the past, mostly pre-election. But I'm working on getting at least 10, maybe 15 people for a virtual book club to do On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, and then some Peter Stanley books on how fascism works and things like that.
You know, I was going to suggest too, Gunny, like we want to do the virtual book club, but on
Yeah.
Discord, like, you know how you recommended me to watch Circle of Evil?
Yeah.
We could stream things like that and people can come in
Hey.
and watch them on Discord.
Oh yeah, that's true too. We could do that. You're right. Can you do video on Discord like that?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. When we get off of here, Crow, I'm gonna make you an admin on there so you can kind of help me set some of the stuff up so we can do it. Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
I had already admin like 12 other Discords. It took me like about an hour, and I can have your Discord looking real nice.
Okay, cool. So I guess we don't have any.
You get the title in mind. You're good in mind. You get like vacation over mine, bro.
We got 204 people and no
I
Trump
want you
supporters.
to be in that chat.
Well, where are all the 208 people and that one Trump supporter requesting? This is,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't see much in the comments
yeah.
to send them invites.
Yeah, they're probably waking up from their corn alcohol induced. Freaking cousin rotating in the bar type of campaign.
They're at, oh yeah, Matt had it right. What time is? Oh yeah, they are at church because my neighbor. Oh my God, my neighbors. They're both Marines. Now I did help them out to get help with their VA disability. They were in the 80s. They're a little bit older, but anyway, they're huge Trumpers and they're huge. And I've nothing against them. They're huge religious fanatics. I got nothing against that. Take a look at. Let me show you the weather that we just got. You know, one sec. In terms of, they are in the fucking snow to go to church today, which they are braver than me. You know, to me personally. I mean, I don't know. I can try.
Are they done?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That
But
they had said in their letter that their care was being stopped at the VA hospital, I think.
yeah. Whoa, that's so cool. Again,
Sailor
there
Ray
you go.
again with the
So
Jets for
let's say
Hex. That's awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Um, I want to just highlight it for the fact that you guys are all veterans,
Yeah,
and I appreciate your service, and I appreciate those within the military that give a fuck about what's happening to this community. But just keep them in your thoughts because
sure.
I'm scared that there'll be more. But I definitely want to just remind people that they are who they are. I don't know. So
Yeah, when the
thank you
22
again, Sid.
oh yeah, no problem. Thank you, Sam. When the 22 a day thing was becoming a big issue with that number of military service members unaliving themselves, I should probably try to do it a little bit more often, but doing like 22 a day push-ups and then sending it out and try to motivate other people to do it.
Yeah, Gunny, let's do a dual live together and act some push-ups. See if we can raise
Yeah,
money.
There you go.
yeah,
Hey man, exercise is free. We can raise money. That's what's up.
yeah. Let me bring Randy up.
Somebody just asked what your screen says, Hex. Oh my God, yeah, I can't even read that.
Hey, Randy.
Oh, my screen says this is a post from. Oh, sorry, but
Well, one of my favorite people on TikTok. That's the homie up top there.
Logs aren't coffee there. When that came
it's
back.
a post by Trump.
Oh.
Us. So I'm
It
gonna like
says
shoot down all Texas news because I don't. The more I hear him talk, the more I absolutely hate that guy. Seriously,
Yeah. Hex, I just wanted to, I know you might be distracted right now, but Elisa Raisu, while she was the first, person to win a court victory about non-binary markers on federal documents, and at one time used they them pronouns. Later on, she switched to she her pronouns.
oh, thank you, Lynn.
Via a blog post in 2021. Yeah, she had a very complicated history. I don't know if you read much about her,
No,
but
I just saw.
there was a period for a couple of years where she was used by the right wing you know grifter circuit, and then she was actually the one that had access to a lot of their intercommunication once she snapped out of it and went back to being herself. um, then she said, "Hey, here's what they're fucking saying. They're monsters." And so she gave us some insight into the whole, campaign, of the anti-trans hate machine, as Amara Jones calls it. So, but anyways, yeah, then later on she used she, her pronouns. And then her story was not covered when she unalived. It was
No, not at all.
a couple of local papers, and it just said a veteran, didn't say who. And it did mention that she was wearing had a trans flag draped over. when it happens. But yeah, then her note was released, and you might have seen it being posted.
Yeah, I read that. About her not wanting to be even buried at
Yeah.
a grave or cemetery that has to do with, the military or any specifically what rung to me the most is I don't want to be buried on American soil.
Mhm.
Because she served her life, for this country and this soil. So
Yeah.
it hurts.
So listen to any of the trans folks out there. This is temporary. God damn it. It is temporary.
Temporary.
We don't do
yes.
permanent solutions to temporary problems. We are going to get this right. I had a meeting with, or attended a meeting with folks from Advocates for Trans Equality. They are the ones responsible for that big, trans survey from a few years ago, and they do a lot of work on the ground and within the government. And Josie Caballero was there, and she's the one that sort of liaisons a lot with governmental folks. And she assured us that, like, although it might not seem like much is happening, there are people fighting every day, every day. And so, like Lambda Legal and the ACLU, like every time they do something like this, it is getting challenged. And if he continues with this executive order train, like of governance, the shit does not have teeth. Like it obviously is riddled with scientific inaccuracies, and it can be fought. So as long as they remain incompetent, there will be competent people to shoot it down. So like, keep the faith, stick with community, and don't lose sight of the goal. The prime directive is to survive. Okay? So that's all I wanted to say. Just correct the record and
Thank you, Lainey. I'm gonna look into it more and I'll write it down to make sure I have it right. I don't want to get their pronouns
no,
wrong.
so she did at the time that she was seeking that identification. At the time she was going by Jamie, and they them pronouns, but then later on changed her name to Lisa Ray Shoup and used she her pronouns. So
Understood.
yeah,
Thank
all
you
right.
for having
Well,
me.
love y'all again.
Okay,
See
love
you
you.
later.
We'll see you.
I love you too, Lainey. Yeah, and I like to also, because I needed to go look to see to keep my head above water, because it does feel like this community is drowning a little. But if you compare the totality of those who voted for Trump this last election, it does not outweigh those who support trans people when it comes to studies by Pew Research, whatever it is. So that's what I remind myself with the fact that we have due process clause, we have the 14th Amendment right, we have our First Amendment right. I do believe we need to just keep advocating and keep our eye on the prize. But thank you, Lainey, for also covering the fact that this is temporary, and we will get stronger through it. It's just gonna fucking suck a little.
Yeah,
Just a little.
unfortunately. All right, let's see here. What's going on, Petra?
I just wanted to say that, I feel like one of the misconceptions that we keep doing is saying that they're incompetent or they're not smart enough. These people literally just won the election, president of the United States. The leader, the sheep on the ground absolutely agree. They are incompetent on the ground. But leadership wise, Trump is not stupid. He would not have won. Elon is not stupid. Otherwise, he would be in prison already. We got to understand that their leadership, they have people that have been through law school up in leadership. They have these smart ass people up there, these egomaniacs that are literally using our putting our guard down, right? We keep saying they're incompetent. How incompetent are they if they just won the president of the United States and we're losing to them? You know, these people are not incompetent. These people literally won the leadership of the free world. We need to be honest with ourselves that we have some crooked ass smart people trying to take advantage of us, and they are conning. They conned 73 million people? I mean, I can't stand that piece of shit, Trump. I can't stand Elon. I think they should be both buried underground. But we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest with ourselves that they're not incompetent. They clearly are not. Otherwise, guess what? We would have the first black woman president. We would actually have a competent person.
I,
That's not insane.
I just don't. I don't. Well, I agree to a certain degree, but I don't think that misinformation and disinformation and propagandizing and marginalizing communities doesn't take a whole lot of brain power. That's a tactic that's been used since 1930s Germany, which they're doing right now. And I think the bigger issue is that people are uneducated. And then secondly, most of these MAGA folks, they engage in this cultural war because they can't comprehend policy. But Trump gave them a platform to be openly racist, homophobic, transphobic, and that's essentially what they care about.
I'm a trans woman that lives in the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
I see it every day. I
Yeah.
get it. You know, Elon just defunded the community program that helped pay people's electric bill.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is people on the ground are not listening to like our education. Like, you know, they're not like when I go into town. I just had a friend yesterday say, "Well, I don't care that they got defunded. They're not. I mean, I'm not using the program. They don't matter."
Yeah.
That's what we got to realize, that these people are selfish.
Yeah.
That's it.
Too many people are voting more, for just themselves and not like everybody as a whole, which I mean, you essentially have to do. And that's one of the reasons that's how we got here. That's my personal opinion.
You know, I just left another live where another guy sat there and said he voted for Trump because he knew that Trump would cause volatility in the stock market. And he was right.
Yeah.
Because he makes money on the volatility.
Yeah.
We got to understand that these people are selfish people that are voting for him to sit there and make more money and for themselves.
Yeah. And what Monday the
So
stock
I'm
market?
Gunny.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you.
I just don't want people to put their guard down. Like, these
But
people are incompetent in the leadership level.
and you're 100% right. We definitely cannot. But I appreciate you coming up. Anything else you want to add before you go?
No, that's all.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Selfish, yes. Det E, I tried to get you to come up, but you wouldn't load the last time you requested. It just like it didn't do anything. All right, let's see. I have 9:47. We've been going for a little over 2 hours now.
My background, now that my dogs aren't going ballistic, it's Trump tweeting that he who saves his country does not violate any law. And I was wondering what you guys thought of. Wait, I'll say it again. He who saves his country does not violate any law.
Oh, really? Let's see. Yeah. Is that on Truth Social?
Yeah, True Social.
Okay. Det E, don't worry about it. It's okay.
Whoa, thanks, Sid.
Man, I've never seen that one either. Say is picking up, sending out all the creative gifts.
Yeah, Say's cool.
Yeah.
Say's really cool.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Say.
Well, I guess we'll take a break because I'll probably come back on. I'm thinking about 1 o'clock. If you guys want to circle back around then. Sylvia, what's on your agenda for the rest of the day? She might be away. Oh, she's teacupping, right? Oh, there you go.
No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I was saying, what's on your agenda the rest of the day?
Nothing. Just cleaning up my house because my mom's coming to visit on Tuesday for 2 weeks.
Okay,
so
cool. All right,
I
cool.
can multitask. I can listen and help too while I'm folding laundry or putting laundry in or something like that.
Sweet. Oh, look what you got. Sylvia got
Thank you so much.
What was that?
No, that was
Let's see.
Star Map.
Star
That was called
Star
the
Map
Star Map.
Polaris. Oh, that's a cool one too.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm bad at paying attention. Thank you to everybody that sent me gifts. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
that's another cool one.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing me up too.
Yes, no problem.
I really
Anytime,
appreciate you, Gunny, for definitely bringing up trans voices.
always.
I appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate it. So thank you.
And anytime you scroll through my live, and or anytime I have a live, and that comes up, I'm gonna be looking for you on my list of people to bring up or message you. So
Yeah.
But Gunny,
Yeah, Laney's really good. And then I tend to be more of like a militant. So it depends because I could be an asshole. I've tried to be softer and sweeter, and Laney has helped me with that.
yeah,
In the fact that I admire ability to, you know, remain composed. Uh, Sometimes I will literally go insane. So
so
Gunny,
me
Hex
and
and
you
I
are a
know
little.
each other got almost 2 years now. I think it is, Hex. Is that long?
yeah, we've been friends for a while. Yeah.
Oh,
I
really?
met Hex over on X when it was Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Hex is the one that lured me over here to TikTok Lives like around October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Sweet.
I was doing spaces over there, and when I say that the extremism on that platform is terrible, it's terrible. And then I was starting to track these accounts that were going in and out. Sorry for my mother. That's Mama Hags cursing at Marco Rubio. Yeah. So, anyways, but long story short, yeah, I came over here because it's just nasty over there.
Is it? Yeah, I had heard that from several people. But yeah, and anytime you see me up and you want to come up and sit on the co-host panel, as long as we got room up here, you're more than welcome. So just let me know. And I ended up following you. If you want to jump in my Discord too and help put information regarding
Yeah,
the
awesome. Yeah.
I'll send Hex an invite on
yeah,
Discord.
because I'm always looking for to get additional information, especially as it relates to the LGBTQI community in my Discord. So if you want to help prop that up, you're more than welcome to do that too.
When Frank came up, Hex, you were one of
I
the
appreciate it.
people
No problem.
right there. I was like, I got to go send the Hex single out. That's what I always
Yeah.
do. I'm like, wait, where's Hex? Let me send him a Discord DM immediately.
Yeah, you just gotta burn some sandalwood incense, and I'll come running.
Hey, regarding the book club, I'm gonna send out one message tomorrow. I'm gonna do a blast, probably on here. I would post on here. And then I'll at least want to get like 10 responses or and probably do it in my Discord as long as I can get 10 people and then everybody can get a copy of On Tyranny, whether an actual copy or a digital copy. We'll probably start it probably we could probably get it started as early as Saturday, but I'll put a message out tomorrow. So do keep an eye on that. All right, folks. We're gonna break until about 1 o'clock. Everybody enjoy your day. If you don't come back, I've got snow here, so I'm trapped in the house. Love you guys. Appreciate supporting the live. Hex, Sylvia, love you, and we'll talk to you in a few hours.
All right, Gunny. We'll see you soon.
All right,
Bye, guys.
Bye.